All right, let's wrap up here with our final mix and printing our mixed disc and importing it into our session, getting it ready to turn it in. Okay, so you can see I've got all my tracks done here. Got my Vox stem enabled in my mix, and I'll go to my mix window, and just so you know, to get toggling back and forth between edit and mix, it's right there. It's Command equals, just toggles back and forth between those two. So Command and your equals key. You can see that I've got some EQs and some compression here on a few of the tracks. Optional if you want to do that. You don't have to. You can add more if you want. It's your production. Also here, there's a stereo 2 mix track. All the tracks sum to that track. And on that track, I've got the maximum peak limiter. This, again, comes stock with Pro Tools. Everything in this session stock with Pro Tools Native, okay? And I've got the output ceiling to that set to 0.5 dB, so you're not going to have any digital overs by accident. You can experiment with the threshold control and lower it to get to some of that, loudness that is so desired in pop music mixing these days, okay? So anyway, let's get ready to go ahead and bounce that to disk. Let me just close that window, and I'm going to grab my insertion tool there, or selector tool. Just drop it here at 89, which is really after everything ends, so I'll have a little bit of dead space at the end, but we just want to get the mix into the track and have it line up with everything else so we can compare it if we want. Okay, let's go ahead here, and now that I've got my region selected that I want to bounce, I will go to File, Bounce to Disk. File, Bounce to Disk. Okay. From there on in, I'm going to go File Type, Wave. I'll just choose the stereo interleave format. I'll keep it at 24-bit depth. I'll keep the session sample rate, which is 48K. Make sure that import after bounce is checked. If you're doing this for the first time, it may not come up that way. Also, make sure offline is checked. That is a real time saver. Otherwise, you're going to have to sit through the entire 3.5-minute song while it bounces. Offline, it'll take it down to about maybe 30 or 20 seconds to do the whole song. Really great feature. Attention, last name, print. Okay, name it that. And there's no spaces. There we go, last name, print. All right, good. And here we go, bounce. And you can see how really quickly it bounces that whole mixed disc. Okay, to a new track. Now I may have to drag that down to the bottom of my session. We shall see. So new track. Oh no, put it at the bottom of the list. Okay, great. I don't have to move it at all. And I'll go ahead and solo that track. And I'm good to go. So let's just make sure everything's okay. Yep. Okay, sounds good. Let's go ahead and save. So File, Save, and Pro Tools, quit Pro Tools. There we are. There's our session on the top. All we have to do to get ready to turn it in is go ahead and right-click on it and compress. And of course, we should have renamed the file before we, turned it in, or really when we created it with our last name, Attention. So right now it's got Charlie's last name on it. But there's another video that you'll see on the YouTube channel that just covers the basics of naming or renaming files and folders. All right. So that's it. Ready to turn in. Have fun with it.